I went to a store and
What's wrong with you? You can't talk today?
No, neither can you. That's what happens. You could have stopped.
When you look at booty, that's what happens.
Yeah. Also, okay, if we would have stopped and let me in.
He could have a better view of your booty.
Also that.
Hey,
but.
hey.
Hey amiga, what is up and welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Jennyfer Ross and your boy
Benni.
Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today Benni and I are gonna record a little video for you because the other day Benni and I were talking about like our experiences abroad, like studying abroad, and I thought like that would be such an interesting video to do for my channel. Maybe anyone would be interested in that. So today we're gonna talk about my experiences from studying abroad in America and your experience from coming from Su to the Netherlands.
Yes.
And everything that comes with that. So yeah. If you like these type of videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos from me. And let's go ahead and get into it. So where did you go to study abroad for the first time?
The Netherlands in Europe.
In Europe. Holland. And for me it was America.
Where? From America?
Texas. I studied in Texas from 2008. No, 2009 completely. That was the year that I studied in America. Why did you move, or why did you go study abroad, and why did you choose that country?
I had family here, and especially Surinam is more connected to
The Netherlands?
And also because of the language, Dutch. So it was, it looked like an easy transition to make. And you?
I studied in America because I always wanted to study in America just because of the movies that I used to watch when I was younger. And also when I started to learn English in school, I knew that I could understand everything, but every time someone would ask me like a random question, I would freak out. I would, you know, block, everything would block in my head. And then when the moment was over, I was like, oh my god, I should have said this and I should have said that. So I wanted to be more fluent in English, and I figured like it was an appropriate decision to
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Texas was not really my choice. My school gave me like 3 opportunities to go to different universities, and I ended up in Texas. I felt like dumped there because it was not my first choice.
What was your first choice?
Philadelphia. I wanted to go to Philadelphia.
So and why?
Drexel University.
And why did you want to go there?
Because everything looked great when it comes to like when I did my research. The marketing program looked really, really good. I did international business and marketing. So the marketing program looked really, really good. And the minor that I was going to be enrolled to also looked like very promising.
Yeah. Because you were there for exchange.
Yes, I was an exchange student.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to go to Drexel, but eventually Texas was not even on my list at all, but that was just like the place that was left. And they just decided to send me there, but it was...
But how did they give you a choice and in the end Texas was left?
Because we needed to prove that you were financially able to survive in Drexel, and it wasn't that I wasn't financially able to survive, but if you had more than the amount that they were asking, which was I think $10,000.
Yeah.
If you have more than that, then they would choose you automatically. So all the places that I chose were given to people with more money than me. So I had the exact amount of 10,000.
Okay.
But
so
there were
if you
people
have
with 16,000. 16.
16. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Why did they still recommend you to go to Texas? Because if you only need to prove that you have 10,000,
yeah.
Where do they say like, was Texas cheaper than Drexel? Because I don't understand that, because maybe the other universities were more expensive or things like that.
In my opinion,
Or is it the market? Because Philadelphia is like a big city.
Yeah.
Texas also is, but
Yeah.
I don't
Texas
know.
is cheaper. Everything is bigger and
Okay.
cheaper in Texas, but that was not really the motivation of the school. They just chose the students with the most money. So it was more like a popularity type of thing. And if you had it like that, then you were chosen easily. And also like your grades and stuff, but I did have the grades to be entered.
And the money.
Yeah, and the money. But they just were blinded by
More money.
Yeah, by more money.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but eventually I'm not gonna complain. It was an amazing experience. Everything happens for a reason, and I remember when I got the news that I was selected for Texas, I was so upset. And then I called my mom, I remember, and I told her like, yeah, I'm entered into Texas. And she was like, yeah, that's great. And I was like, no, it's not. That's not what I chose. And she was like, don't be ungrateful. Be happy that you get to go away and go to America and live your dream after all. And yeah, I was not happy at all. Not happy at all.
Just because it wasn't your choice?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't my first, second or third choice.
So it wasn't your choice?
No, it wasn't my choice. But can you understand that a little bit at least? Like, if they make you feel like you're gonna get into one of your top 3, and you get placed somewhere completely different where you didn't even consider or do research for.
But my first year in Rotterdam, I also didn't get selected for the study that I really wanted to do.
You didn't?
No.
Which study did you want to do?
Tax law, but then they put the first one I got selected for was tax economy. So the year after that I got selected for tax law.
Damn, okay.
So it was the same school I wanted to go though, so I get you a little bit, but...
Were you disappointed?
A bit,
Yeah.
and a bit not, but yes, because I had a dreadful year in economics, because damn, after a month that I was already started, they told me, yeah, someone dropped out of tax law, so if you want you can still, I was like, enroll. I was like, hell no. So I went the next year.
Okay, yeah, well that's better I think anyways.
Yeah, it was better.
Alright. First impression of the new country.
It was an eye-opener.
It was an eye-opener. Why?
Yes. Because
No basic answers, Benny.
I know, but
Eye-opener in what kind of sense?
I can remember we had a school trip to the Dutch consulate.
Yeah.
And there were pictures on the wall, and it really didn't.
And was that the consulate in Surinam?
In Surinam, in Surinam,
Oh,
in Surinam.
And what happened when you actually got to the Netherlands?
So, my first day, I was like impressed with Schiphol. Like it was so big, and it looked, it really, that was the first time I was like, okay, now I'm in a first world country, and I felt like, okay, this is a rich country. It was so big and crowded, but then we were driving on the speedway, so it's the first time. Highway, isn't it the same?
Speedway?
Highway,
yeah.
So we were driving there, but I saw nothing of the skyscraper, so we went straight to a village. And I was like, damn!
It is what they told you at the consulate.
Yeah, it was really what. But then the first Monday of school, then I really went to this, I was like,
What city was that?
Rotterdam.
Yeah.
Rotterdam. So, and I saw my school, and I was like, oh shit, this is real. Luckily, I got in touch with Jonathan. So I moved to him, to his house, and he let me see more of the city, and then you come to see how it really works. Like the city is really the city, and then the further you go outside the city, you have the normal houses, and then it goes out to the villages, and you can see how far the metro goes, how far the trains go. In the city you have more trams, like, and then you can see how it's really built together.
And how old were you?
24.
24. That's just so weird to imagine, because I don't know any better. I grew up in the Netherlands, and I know like the small town because I am from a small town and the big city. So it's so weird to imagine like going somewhere for this first place.
First time.
For the first time, and then it being such a drastic change.
Yeah, so it was a drastic change.
Yeah.
I remember going in the tram. I had loaded up €5 and nobody told me that when you get off the tram,
you need to check out.
You need to check out. So I was checking in, and after school I needed to go back to the city to get my train. And I saw that thing wasn't checking in, and I was like, damn. So I called my aunt and she said, oh no, did you check out when you... I said, no, nobody told me. So I had to put money back, and then it was working.
Oh.
Yeah.
A bummer, but yeah. Anyways,
Texas.
my first impressions of Texas. So when I said goodbye to my mom, and my sister and stepdad, I went to Heathrow first in London, and that's an hour difference, so it already started with like a little bit of confusion. Then when my plane left London to Texas, to Dallas actually, I needed to take my connection there to San Angelo. We got into turbulence, and therefore the plane was late. And normally I would have 4 hours to make my connection, but the 4 hours was down to, I think, 40 minutes. When I arrived in America, I was just so stressed because I heard so many things about the airport in Dallas, that it's very big, that it has a lot of terminals and a lot of gates. So I was just stressed to find my connection. And also I knew that there was this German girl that was also going to be on the same flight from London with me. So I was trying to look for her. I already saw her. But anyways, long story short, I got at the immigration. So I saw like these men standing there, and they had like these big weapons, and I was scared as fuck. But I decided to go up to them and ask them like, can I go first because I have to make my connection? And the thing, they said like, ma'am, you will have to wait. And I was like, okay. So I took
Welcome to America.
Yeah, welcome to America, literally. So I packed my bags, I walked back to my line and stand there like a little puppy, and I saw the German girl walk away. So I was like, shit, she's gonna make it and I am not. So eventually I got, it was my turn to give my passport, get scanned and all of that. And I was like asking the lady behind the desk if she knew like if I was gonna make my flight, and she was like, yeah lady, I'm not about that. You will have to check in with American Airlines about that. But first we need to like get you right on all the papers and stuff. So that happened, and then after that I went to the American Airline desk.
Yes.
Yeah. And
info desk.
Yeah, the information desk, and I was informed that I missed my connection, and I was like, oh my god. And that the thing was, at that time, you needed like an American phone to be able to call back home. So my mom doesn't know where I am. I was feeling sick, by the way, because I was so nervous during the flight. And yeah, I wasn't feeling well. I was tired and everything. And the lady said like, yeah, well, we will put you on the next flight. And I was like, okay. And then she said like, that will be tomorrow morning at 7. And I was like, what? What? And I was like, oh my god, and what am I gonna do? She said like, yeah, you can wait in the airport or you can take a hotel.
In the airport?
Yeah. And I was like, oh my god, no, I'm gonna take the hotel because I wasn't feeling well. I also was throwing up when the airplane was landing. They were calling us to go back to our seats and stuff, and I was just profusely throwing up in the toilet because I was feeling so sick. So I was like, no, I need to get myself together. So I decided to choose for the hotel. And when I got to the hotel, everything was in Spanish. Wasn't prepared for that either. And then I remember asking them like, how can I get a phone to call my mom? And they told me like, yeah, you can walk to the gas station, but it was a whole construction site since the hotel was also new. So it was a whole mess, but eventually there was this guy from the airport shuttle, and they told me like, yeah, just go to your room. We will let him pick you up and go with you to the to the gas station to pick up a car there. So eventually he came and he picked me up, and he was such a lifesaver. He was so nice. A black guy. He was so nice.
Wow.
What?
Why did you have to say that?
Because I feel like I don't know. It was finally something that feels familiar.
Okay.
That's. I don't mean that wrong or anything, but I was just like relieved, like, you know, that it was a black person.
That sounds bad.
Does it?
But okay.
Yeah, I was just happy, okay, that it was a black brother, and he was like, yeah, my sister studies in France, so I totally get this. And then he eventually even let me call with his phone to my mom, and my mom was so panicked, so like, how do you say it? Bezorgd.
Worried?
So worried about me because I was supposed to be in San Angelo by now. But yeah, that was my first. It was very stressful, but also
very black.
Yeah. Very what?
Black.
No, come on. I was just happy, okay? Sometimes all you need is a familiar face, even if that's like, I have the same thing with you, Benni. We are not both from Curacao, but I recognize so many things from both of our cultures, and I don't know, it feels very comforting.
Okay.
I don't mean that I don't mean this in a wrong way, okay? At all. Differences between the new country and home.
Oh, the weather.
The weather.
The weather. Oh my god. And the food.
The food.
The food especially. Transportation. Time difference.
Oh yeah.
And also life.
Life.
Yeah. But I do feel like, oh, you mean with the country where I moved to, right? Oh yeah. Life in the Netherlands is faster than in Suriname. Like things go really fast. And
what do you mean? Give an example of what goes faster. We ain't got all day. Come on.
We ain't got all day. But let's say going to school was like having a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
You feel? So when I was going to school in Suriname, you had school maybe from 9 to 1 or 11 to 3. You had different hours. But in the Netherlands, they had a whole different schedule. And I only had 2 subjects every 2 months. It was a full day. And the time, even if you didn't have school or if you were free for a few hours, that time you needed to study.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe you were free between you start at 9 o'clock, you have school till 1, and then the next subject starts at 5 o'clock. 1 till 5, you are practically free, but actually that time is to study. So when you go at 5, you start again. You are at school till how long? Maybe 7 o'clock, and then you go home and you still need to cook and those type of things, or you need to cook in between. You need to do something, but after a day of school, you really felt tired, like you had a 9 to 5, and I didn't have that in Suriname.
Yeah, I get that.
That's what I mean with faster.
Fast life,
yeah.
Well, I thought you meant like everything is rush, and you gotta be on time.
Also,
that's what you meant.
Because when you went to a lecture, so you had like 5 minutes to be late, and some teachers even said like 5 minutes before the class starts, if you're not in, you're late. So they would close the door, and then you had to wait till, because you had a break after 1 hour. 1 hour and 30 minutes. No, wait a minute. One lecture was 1 hour and 30 minutes, and every 45 minutes we had a break. So after 45 minutes you can get in, but you miss a lot. So everybody had a different type of thing. So you're either late or you can get in after 5 minutes. But if you had to be there 5 minutes before the class started, you had a problem.
Yeah. I think that goes for everywhere that I studied, actually, because I was also in America. Mm-hmm. But I do recognize like what you mean by fast life, but I would more say that everything is rushed. You know, the train is on time, the metro is on time, the bus is on time, everything starts on time. And what I know, like from Curacao, because I lived there too, is that things are more on a slower pace. If you start at 9, it's not really a problem if you come in like 15 past 9, things like that, you know?
Yeah.
But like here in Europe, Belgium also, like things are on time and you gotta get used to that, especially if you're used to like a laid back culture, then I can imagine that that's a shock.
But Belgium is not, there are little differences between Belgium and
the Netherlands.
Yeah,
that's a discussion for another day actually, but but I do feel that here you need to be on time too though.
You need to be on time, but if they would see you, as for example the bus, if they would see you come running, I have seen times in
then they will just drive on.
There may be a few drivers that wait for you in the Netherlands, but I've seen a lot of times in the Netherlands where they just look at you and just drive by.
I had that one time when I was living in Amsterdam. I'm gonna dump this in real quick. I came from work and this tram was coming and he saw me coming and he drove off. And it was already late. And what does he do? He makes a remark about my booty in the little intercom thingy. And then he drives into a bicycle, like another person on a bike. And I was walking towards the station, so he was like he was frantic, like, oh my God, you know, I drove into someone. And then I was walking and I said like, see, that's what happens if you can't even like strike your hand over your heart. And I don't know how to say that in English, but I was like, that's what happens. That's what happens. You could have stopped.
When you look at booty, that's what happens.
Yeah, also, if he would have stopped and let me in.
He could have had a better view of your booty.
Also that.
Hey.
Yeah, what? When you say it, it's right, and when I say it, I can.
Okay, next question.
No, see. I didn't even answer my America part yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what was the question again?
Oh, what was the question again?
Well, the differences were that everything was bigger in America. Everything was impressive. And like even the mall, the food. And like I have this habit that I just like fast food a lot. So I was living my fast life.
Your fast life.
Yeah, my fast life. And then eventually it did start to catch up with me, so...
How did it catch up with you, Jenny? Jenny, how did it catch up with you?
I was gaining weight. I gained weight. Yeah. So I had to like start going to the gym.
In America?
Yeah, and going to the swimming pool, like swimming and things like that to stay in shape.
To get in shape, because you're in sporting.
Yeah, and also like another thing that was also that I had to get used to was that everybody seems so nice. Everybody seems so nice, and this is not to talk trash about anyone, but it's not always genuine. Let me just put it like that. You know, like in a store. I went to a store and
what's wrong with you? You can't talk today?
No, neither can you. I went to a store to buy a new foundation and the girl was just like, oh my God, you have such nice bone structure. And I was like, what? I'm not saying that it wasn't genuine, but I just noticed that a lot of people would say things and be super nice and super over the top.
Just to sell something to you?
Yes, and it wasn't probably not really genuine.
Okay. But your school was a little bit relaxed. The one in
Texas?
In Holland. Because I went there a few times and it looked like, it had a chill vibe.
The school had a chill vibe, but like...
Not the lessons.
No, some teachers were assholes. Sorry, they were.
I hope no teacher is watching.
Well, if they are and they knew... Okay, there were so many that were like amazing, you know? And they had like your best interest at heart, but some of them were just being an asshole to be an asshole. That's just how it is. How did you deal with leaving your family behind? How was it in the beginning and how is it now? You are a clown.
It was hard. It was hard to... even though we had a lot of technology to call and stay in contact, it's different than when you are together in one space. So I had to get used to it, and especially in a new country. And that's why I'm happy that I met Jonathan, actually, because it felt like he felt like, because I grew up with him, it really felt like, oh, okay, so I have a brother here. So that's how I felt. So that made it a little bit more comfortable for me. But the beginning was hard. It's hard. And for you?
Well, I went abroad 2 times. One time for a whole year in Curacao, and also like Texas, of course, for studying. So yeah, both times were very, very hard. Yes, but especially America was hard.
Okay.
Because like Curacao was easier since I had my grandmother there, and you know, like a lot of cousins, aunts, uncles, things like that. Like I have a lot of family there, so it felt like just my mom and sister weren't there. But America was just me by myself, and that was hard.
You alone in a big country.
Yeah. That was really, really hard. But at the same time, I met my roommate Erin, and she used to be very introverted, and I'm more outroverted. Or is it extrovert? What's the word? Introvert and extrovert. Anyways, the opposite of introvert, okay? I am not...
Outrovert.
Or is it extrovert?
Extrovert,
okay. So I'm an extrovert, and it was just
so weird.
Yeah, it does. It does. But it was nice to do everything by ourselves and to learn how to communicate with someone who is the opposite of you. So I needed to learn how to make responsible choices. All of that, like keeping the house clean, learning how to communicate with someone that you don't really know, but at the same time you don't want to have any troubles with them about cleaning the bathroom, about cleaning the kitchen, things like that. So we needed to find like a mutual ground in doing things, and for me that was really the challenge there.
Okay.
What was a real culture shock? Should I go first?
Yes, you go first.
For me, the real culture shock was the credit card situation in America. Like here in Europe, you don't really need a credit card. And in America, everything is based on your credit score. And to have or to build a credit score, you need to have a credit card, pay it in time, like kind of put yourself in debt and get yourself out of debt to prove that you are credible. And that, to me, that was just really, really weird.
You needed to do that too?
Not specifically, but I was like informing about like how it would be like to live there.
Okay.
And because I really was interested in moving there at some point. But then when I did my research and I found out that it would be very difficult, there would be ways, but it would be difficult for me to prove that I was credible because I didn't have a credit card. I have nothing to prove that I'm credible. And that was such a weird concept, and to each their own, you know, like it is like that for a reason, I guess, but it's just something that was really shocking to me because I was like, so you're not gonna give me a chance? Because I don't have a credit card. And like here in Europe, you are always taught to stay away from credit cards and to not spend money that you don't have. So it was really, really weird to see a whole different concept of that.
But here you can't spend money that you don't have. Because you can't go to the bank and say, yeah, I want to buy a TV. Borrow me this money.
No, but you get the card, and then by the end of the month, they will like take the money that you used on the card, right?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
and how's it in America then? And also
but here, no, it's not the same, because I think here you have a limit, and when you reach that limit, you can't spend anymore.
But there too, I think.
Oh, okay. But
it's just the whole concept.
But you can't take. But I have a feeling that in America you can take multiple credit cards.
You can. You
can't do that here.
No, you can't.
Because here you can only take it at the bank you're connected to.
Yeah. Or at Visa. You can also take it at different corporations and stuff.
Okay.
But you cannot like get multiple. And if there's one bill that you didn't pay, they will register your name and you cannot
they blacklist you.
Yeah, they will blacklist you.
Yeah.
So it was just a weird concept to me that is the way of living. Like here, everybody will tell you like, don't take a credit card if you don't need it. Do not ever, we have a debit card system. You put money or you receive money from your work in your bank account and that's the money you're gonna be spending. But there you have the opportunity to like buy a TV, buy a laptop, and then you will pay it later. Like here we're not
when you feel like it.
Yeah, and here. Yeah, and because I felt like I always felt like I made responsible choices when it comes to that. Like not having a credit card. I thought I was doing the right thing.
But,
and then
but there is what I understand is that when you spend money, you keep the economy
flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get all of that, you know, but it is just a very different concept from what I was taught here in Europe.
Yeah, I get it.
And that was really a shock.
I get it.
Yeah. How about you?
A lot of things, especially important things, they were more focused on the money side than on how about you, I feel. Because, for example, you must have
health insurance.
A health insurance, right? So, but before you can get it, you need to have your SOFI number.
But you have a personal number that is also
your ID number. Your ID number,
yes.
Right? So you need to have that before you can fix a health insurance. So when I arrived, I went to the health insurance, and they told me no, you can get it, and because you don't have that number yet. When you have that number, you come back, and then we will
register you.
I went back to health insurance after that, my ID number, and they looked at it. They said, well, yeah, when did you arrive? I said, the 29th of August. They gave me a number to pay back.
Starting from the 29th?
Yeah, still that moment. And I told them, but why do I need to pay it? They said, yeah, because you need to do it from entry. I said, I came here when I entered the country and you told me it's not possible because I don't have an ID. So why do you want me to pay it now? Yeah, those 100. I said, no, that's not how it works because my school takes care of the time that I don't have an ID. Okay. So then
they were just trying to rip you off money.
Yeah.
If you were dumb and you just paid it, then you would have just...
You would have just paid it. And they did it to a lot of students.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. And that was the first thing. Wow.
But I feel like the Dutch system is also a very calculated system. Whatever you are doing, and especially if you have like a minimum budget, I feel like everything is counted. And if you make like one mistake, it's going to be super difficult to catch back up and...
And all the benefits that you get, you better stop it when you don't have the right to get it because
that shit is gonna bite you in the ass. Yeah.
Because you can get it for years, but the moment they find out,
it's done. Who were your first friends in the new country, and how did you make these connections?
Elwar was my first new friend.
Did you know him you didn't know him from Su or anything?
No, I didn't know him from Su. So
how did you make the connection?
We had, you have some classes where you do practical things.
Yeah.
He was sitting in front of me, right? But I was like, thinking like, okay, is this guy from Suriname or not? But because you have Suriname people born in the Netherlands, but you have also Suriname people that, just like me, who come from Suriname too. So I can remember he was sitting with some students from Dutch themselves, from the Netherlands themselves, and they were telling a story. And he used a curse word.
In Suriname curse word.
A Surinamese curse word. But the way he said it, I knew immediately that he was from Suriname. And even the students didn't realize that he used a curse word, but I started laughing and he was like, yo, you're from Suriname.
That's cute.
And that's how we started talking. And after that, it was Nahim. Traulo. He's from Curaçao.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You love those aunties, huh?
Aruba.
Yeah.
Fero and Ashanti, yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Well, my first friend was my roommate, Erin. And she is half Mexican. She's Mexican, or her parents are from Mexico, but she was born in Texas, so she's kind of a Tex-Mex kind of girl. She was my first, and then also I had friends from the same school that also went to the exchange program, and I had them also. They were new, but also not. So that's how I made those connections. And other than that, I just joined a student association.
Okay.
Yeah, and in the student association, I got to know like a lot of the other friends that I.
That German girl.
Edda. Yeah. I found her later.
Yeah, at the same school.
At the same school, yeah.
And you guys became friends too?
We also became friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when you went back, you guys always were on the same flight, or she went?
We weren't on the same flight, but we later met also in the Netherlands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's nice.
So, would you like to move home or to the country where you study?
Home is a possibility. Study, no.
Yeah, because we live in Belgium now. We don't even live in the Netherlands anymore. Yeah. So you would move to Suriname back?
If it's possible.
But not to Holland.
No.
Yeah. Well,
you?
I wouldn't specifically move to Texas anymore.
But you have Texas and Curaçao, right?
Texas, Curaçao, and the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Because I am abroad right now. So Texas is a no. Why not? Because I loved it there, but I think it's not something that I want to do permanently. I don't know. Like I feel like our life here in Europe is way better. Like health insurance wise, like all the benefits that we have here. I feel like that is way better than in Texas. And then we have Curaçao. I would love to move to Curaçao like yesterday. I don't care. And then we have the Netherlands. If I have to, but I would prefer not to ever again. And the reason why will be discussed in a video that I will be filming this week. So stay on the look for that. Most memorable experience, good or bad?
So that doesn't matter if...
Yeah, or both. Most memorable experience.
You go first.
Most memorable experience would be around this time. We had like the bonfire, and then my very first football game. And also we did like an international student parade in which we have like our own truck where we were standing on, and it was just so cool in my opinion. Oh, battery low. Yeah, it was just so cool. And then also Halloween. Halloween in America is literally how you see it in the movies. I was just shocked because I always thought it was like just people making fun, like yeah, girls go out in their lingerie. And the first time I experienced that, I was like so shocked. Like what? Yeah, I don't know. It was just shocking, but also a very memorable experience. How about yours? But especially Halloween time was and Thanksgiving too, was very memorable to me, and something that I will never forget.
My most memorable was the first time I saw snow.
Okay,
yeah.
I get that.
I can remember it was cold as hell. And I just woke up Veronica called me. She said, yeah, look outside. And I was like, wow, you know when you're sleepy? And I was looking outside and it was white. And it felt like your eyes are adjusting to it, and it felt so unreal to see everything so clear white. So yeah, but it was great to see it. Yeah, that was the first thing that I really that was a nice experience in a new country.
Yeah. Okay. I can imagine that. Top 3 tips for anyone that would want to make the same move. So in your case, from Suriname to go study in the Netherlands.
Research good where you want to live.
Yeah.
make research about the finances you're gonna need, and research about how to travel. So the train, the metro, how it works. If you really have those three things in order, you know where you're gonna live, you know the neighborhood, your finances are good, you know how much your expenses are gonna be every month, and you know how to move around, the rest is gonna fall in place by itself. Like, you're gonna meet people who are gonna help you along the way. But those three things were like, I feel like, especially with transportation, I needed more guidance about that. Yeah. And also look if you don't have people you know in the area, so that they can also help you. But finances and transportation, to me, were the most important things, because especially traveling, transportation costs money, and you have like subscriptions that you can get, but those are also expensive. But you need to look what's good for you. But those three things.
Yes.
Do your research.
Yeah. For me, it would be also, research is super important wherever you are going. But with America especially, like, do your research in the school that you want to choose, and also like figure out how much money you're gonna need, that you're covered. Make sure to pay everything in time, and also make sure that you don't get carried away too much with partying. Focus on your studies, because that's also very
because
important.
Netherlands, you can party every day.
Yeah,
you can
in
party
America
every
too.
Yeah, so I knew on Tuesday they had international International Student Day. Monday, Fee had something. Fee
every
on
day
Monday.
of the week there's
every day of the week there's a party. So you need to be careful with that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would recommend. I also recommend going in with an open mind, being ready to learn new things and accept like the new environment that you're gonna be in. And also I would recommend vlogging. Vlog everything as much as possible to relive the moment. I wish I was vlogging back then. But yeah, capture a lot and enjoy it. Yes. So that is it for today's video. I had a lot of problems talking today.
Yeah, maybe we need to film it over.
Yeah,
because Jennyfer was brabbling.
Yeah, I hope not.
Blabbling.
Anyways.
Okay, I'm you guys.
Shut up. I want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up for more videos from us. Let us know if you enjoyed this video, if you want more videos like this. A video about living in Antwerp coming up soon. So leave questions down below if you have questions about that. And yeah. Until next time.
Bye bye, amigas. Je hebt niet gezegd like, subscribe en comment. Alright.